waxaan hadda qaadanaynaa marka 7.4 algebraic representation and manipulations lesson 7.4 functions, inverse functions and composite functions. Learning outcomes. By the end of the lesson, learners should be able to define an inverse function, define and calculate inverse function, explain odd and even functions. Now, example number 1, we are told to find for the functions f of x. F of x, this is inverse and composite functions. Inverse and composite functions. Now we are told f of x is equal to 3x minus 4. Now evaluate f2. F2 means substitute x to 2. So this will be 3x, 3 bracket, x which is 2 minus 4. You get 6 minus 4, and then you get positive 2. So this is now direct substitution. This one is called direct substitution. You substitute the value of x with the number given. B, f of x, that is number 2, this is number 1. F of x is f of x is equal to 3x minus 4. You are told to substitute x with minus 3. So this will be 3 bracket minus 3 minus 4. You get minus 9 minus 4. You get minus 13. Minus 13. C, or 3, B, we have f of x is equal to 2x plus 6 divided by 3. And then you're told to evaluate f3. We do the same way. We substitute. Say 2 bracket 3 plus 6 divided by 3. You get 6 plus 6, 12 divided by 3. And then the answer will be equal to 4. So that is example B, Roman 1. Roman 2 is f of x equal to 2x plus 6 divided by 3. We are told to substitute x with 3 divided by 2. So this will be 2 bracket 3 divided by 2 plus 6 divided by 3. This will be, now you cancel, you get 2 cancel 2, you get 3 plus 6 divided by 3. You get 9 divided by 3. The answer will be equal to 3. Okay. So that is example B2. Inverse function. The inverse of a function. That is. Inverse. The inverse of a function is its reverse. Inverse of f of x. Inverse of f becomes f negative 1. So that is the reverse. Yeah, the reverse of f is f negative. To find the inverse of a function, step number 1, there are 3 steps. Step number 1 is to rewrite the function, replacing f of x with y. Instead of using f of x, you replace f of x with y. Number 2, interchange x and y. You again interchange x and y. And then number 3, rearrange the equations to making y the subject. Making y the subject. Now example number 1, we are told to find the inverse. We are told to find the inverse. And we said inverse means the reverse of the function. Now f of x equals to x plus 2. There are two ways of solving this question. One, for us to find the inverse, I just write the inverse of f of x is that. So the inverse of positive sign becomes a negative. So the reverse, this one becomes negative. So x minus 2, that will be our final answer. Now, to follow the rules, we say f of x, that is method 2, f of x is equal to x plus 2. Step 1 is to find, instead of f of x, we'll be using y. So I make y, instead of f of x is y equal to x plus 2, and then I make x the subject formula. So this will be y is equal to y minus 2 is equal to x. So x is equal to y minus 2. Now instead of x, we'll be using the reverse. The inverse of x is y. So that will be the inverse of y inverse. So the inverse of y is x, and then minus 2. So that is when we follow the rules, that will be the answer to that question. Number 2, 2x minus 3, g of x as another function, 2x minus 3. The inverse of g is g inverse. The inverse of multiplication is division. The inverse of minus becomes addition. So this will be x plus 3, and then divide by 2. Second method, g of x, which is the same as f of x, is 2x minus 3. Instead of g, I'll be using y is equal to 2x minus 3. And then I make x the subject, meaning I transfer y to the 3 to the right, to the left, I mean. This will be equal to 2x. Divide both sides by 2. You get x is equal to y plus 3. Divide by 2. Meaning the inverse of x is y, so y inverse. The inverse of y becomes x. And then divide by 2. You can see now we have the same answer for that question. Next, f of x, number b, f of x is equal to 2x plus 4 divided by 3. And then you're told to evaluate f prime of 4. Now, first of all, we are supposed to find the inverse of this one. So f of x is equal to 2x plus 3 plus 4 divided by 3. So what you do is you just find the inverse of this one is like that. The inverse of multiplication, division, then division becomes multiplication. We have 3x. This one becomes minus, and then you divide by 2. Second method, I make, instead of f of x, I'll be using y. Y is equal to 2x. Y is equal to 2x plus 4 divided by 3. What you do is you cross multiply, you get 3y is equal to 2x plus 4. You make x the subject, meaning you say 3y minus 4 is equal to 2x. Then you divide both sides by 2. X will be equal to 3y minus 4 divided by 2. So instead of x, I'll be using f inverse. The inverse of y is x, so this one becomes 3x minus 4, and then divide by 2. Again, we have the same answer for that. Now we substitute now. F is equal to 4. So f inverse, we know that f inverse 4 this time will be equal to f inverse x will be equal to 3x minus 4 divided by 2. We are told to substitute 4 there. So this will be equal to 3 bracket 4 minus 4 divided by 2. This is 12 minus 4 is 8. Divided by 2, the answer is equal to 4. The answer is equal to 4. Now the same question, substitute. Instead of x, we substitute 0. So f0 will be equal to 3 bracket 0 minus 4 divided by 2. This is 0 minus 4 is minus 4 divided by 2. The answer is equal to minus 2. Next, composite functions. The next is composite functions. Now, composite function, this one is made up of other functions where the output of one is the input of the other. Now, for example, you are told if f of x is equal to x plus 2 and g of x is equal to x plus 3, then find fg of x. Fg, that is FOC, f of gx. Now, instead, what we do is f of g means you first of all take the coefficient of x, which is 1, and then instead of x, we put x plus 3. X plus 3. And then bracket, and then plus 2. So this will be equal to x plus 3 plus 2 will be equal to x plus 5. X plus 5. Example 2. Example number 2. We want to find gh of negative 4. B. G of x, 3x plus 2, and h of x, this will be equal to 4x. Then the question is, first of all, let's find gh of x. Gh of x means g, which is, instead of x, we'll be putting 4x there. So g, the coefficient is 3 outside. Instead of g of h of x, you put 4x there, and then plus 2. This will be equal to 12x plus 2. Then 12 bracket minus 4 plus 2. This will be minus 48 plus 2. You get minus 46. Minus 46. Minus 46. That is example number B. A. Example number B. G of x is 4x plus 4 divided by 5. And then h of x is minus 1 over 3 bracket minus x plus 5. I separate this one, so g of x will be equal to 4x plus 4 divided by 5. Then h of x, the same way, this you multiply, you get plus 1 over 3x, and then multiply, you get 5 over 3. Then the question is, gh of x, gh into bracket minus 4. Now before minus 4, let's first of all find g of h. So g of h will be, the coefficient of x is 4 divided by 5. Then instead of x, you put h of x. H of x is 1 over 3, x minus 5 divided by 3, and then plus 4 divided by 5. So next will be you multiply, you get 4 out of 15, x, and then you get 20. You get 20 there, divided by 15, and then you have 4 divided by 5 there. Then you look for the LCM of these numbers. The LCM is 15. You divide, you get 4x. You divide, you get minus 20. And then you get plus. This will be 3, that will be 12. So this will be 4x minus 8 divided by 15. Then we are told to substitute x with minus 4. Substitute x minus 4. GH of minus 4. We know GH is 4x minus 8. divided by 15. 4 bracket minus 4 minus 8 divided by 15. Minus 16 minus 8 divided by 15. You get minus 31. No, minus 24. Minus 24. Minus 24 divided by 15. By 3 you get minus 8. By 3 you get positive 5. Positive 5. Next. The question is f of x is equal to 2x squared plus 5x minus 1. G of x is 4x plus 2. Then we are told to find fg of x. Let's first of all find this one. So what we do is say 2x, instead of x you put 4x plus 2 there, into bracket squared, 5 bracket, 4x plus 2, and then minus 1. This will be 2 bracket. So this, you multiply 4x plus 2 twice, so this will be the square of the first term, 16x squared. 2 times the product of these two, that will be 8 times 2, you get 16x. The square of the second number will be 4, and then plus 20. X plus 10 and then minus 5. So this will be 32x squared plus 32x, and then plus 8 plus 20x plus 5. Plus 5. Next. This will be 32x squared plus 52x plus 13. And then we are told to substitute fg of 3, negative 3 I mean. What you do now is you just substitute x with minus 3, 32 minus 3 into bracket squared, 52 minus 3, then plus 13. This will be 32 multiplied by 9, plus this will be negative 156 plus 13. You get, that will be 288. 288. This will be 32 times 9 minus 156 plus 13. So multiply these two together, you get 8. That will be 288 minus 156 plus 3. So I subtract 156. I get 2, 3, 1. Then plus 3, you get 135. 135. Now, if you want to multiply, for example, 4x plus 2 or a plus b into bracket squared, this is the same as 4x plus 2. What you do is you square the first number. There are 3 stages. You first of all square the first number. Square the first number. That will be a squared. Step 2, plus or minus. So we have plus sign there. 2 times the product. The product is the first and the second. That will be a and b. The answer you get 2ab. And then the last step is you square the second number, which is b squared. So b squared, and then you add up this. So for us to multiply this one, I squared the first number, you get 16x squared, and then 2 times the product is 8x times 2, you get 16x, and then plus 4. Plus 4. Now the difference, the last tell you have a difference between even functions and odd functions. Now, even functions, we have even functions and then odd functions. If, for example, you have 5, let me start with even function. The formula for even function will be, we substitute with the negative x. If f of x is, for example, is equal to x power 4 and then x power 2, you can see we have both powers are even numbers. So therefore, this one becomes an even function. Even function. I'll prove this one even function. For example, I will substitute with negative x. So if, for example, negative x is equal to a function of f of x, if these two becomes the same, then that one becomes an even function. And if, for example, negative x is equal to negative into bracket f into bracket x, this one becomes an odd function. And this one is an even function. This is the general formula for even and odd functions. Let me give you an example of each. The first one, we say that negative x, if you substitute negative x, what happens? This is even function. Even function will be f negative x will be equal to, I substitute negative x each, so negative x into bracket power 4, and then plus negative x bracket power 2. So you can see this is square 4 times, negative x, negative x, negative x. You get, the answer will be x power 4, and then this one becomes negative x twice, the answer will also be x power 2. So the result here is also the same as the result in the first one. So meaning f negative x is the same as f of x. So that is the proof for even function. Let me quickly do the odd functions. Odd functions. Odd functions is like this. Odd functions. Odd functions is f negative x will be equal to negative f of x. Now, for example, if f of x is equal to x power 5 plus x power 3, for example, you can see both powers are odd, so this one will become an odd function. Now, let me prove this one also. We said f negative x will be equal to negative x into bracket power 5 plus negative x bracket power 3. So if you multiply this one 5 times, you get negative x power 5, and if you multiply this one 3 times, you get negative x power 3. Now if you they have common factor, let me remove -1 outside so that I can get x power 5 plus x power 3. So instead, you just put negative outside. This one is the same as f of x. This is the same as f of x. So f of x, you can see we have negative outside, meaning now f negative x is the same as, so this one becomes an odd function. And this is an even function. Marka 10 kinta soo ku dhan yahay taasaan ku joojinayaa maanta.